remember to like, subscribe, share, and whatever it is that you're supposed to say at the beginning of a YouTube video. Yeah, so once again, thanks for tuning in. Some of you may be wondering why my channel's called 9 Months and Waiting. That's because when I first started blogging about my fertility journey, my blog is called 9 Months and Waiting. My strapline is Faith, the Fertility Journey and Beyond. So I guess when I started this channel, it was so that I could start documenting life after motherhood. So I guess with what I'm about to share with you, it kind of fits in with the Beyond part. And to be honest with you, I still like the name. So we're keeping it at that. What I'm going to do is be sharing a series of videos that I took during my day-to-day life whilst on the cancer journey. I figured that I need to give you some sort of background information. So this first video is going to be a lot of me talking. Actually, most of it is me talking. All the other videos I'm talking into the camera anyway. So yeah, I just wanted to give you some background information on it. I gave birth in November 2016 and hubby and I agreed that we would I would breastfeed for a year. So I stopped breastfeeding in November 2017. And I remember after a few weeks, I found a lump in my breast, and I didn't think anything bad of it because I just thought that as I'd stopped breastfeeding, that maybe that was just my milk drying up. So I kind of just left it alone. And I remember a few more weeks passed and I thought, okay, this lump, it really hurts, like seriously hurts. And it's really solid. I don't have it in my other breast. And I remember speaking to my husband about it, and he said, you know, just contact the GP in case they can give you any tips on, you know, what to do. So I had a pre-appointment phone call. They do this at my GP surgery because you can't get any appointments. So I had a pre-appointment call with a male GP, and he asked me a series of questions, and then he invited me into the GP surgery. And I remember him saying to me, okay, show me the lump, which I did. And him saying, I can't feel anything. But I was adamant that the lump was definitely there. And he asked me more questions. And I'll never forget what he said. He said, I need to send you for a scan anyway, because that's the routine for someone who finds a lump in their breast or a lump anywhere. But not to worry, it's probably nothing because a cancerous lump doesn't hurt. So I left that GP surgery that evening feeling pretty okay, that a cancerous lump doesn't hurt. So I thought, okay, this must be definitely something to do with the breast milk, or maybe a cyst or something, anything other than cancer. So my letter came in the post and off I went to the local hospital. And my appointment at the hospital was, I think I can say traumatic. It definitely hit home with the reality of how many women find something in their breast. And this was a designated one-stop place it was called the breast clinic, and everyone was there for, I'm assuming, the same reason. You saw people, it was just silence. So you go in and they tell you to put your dressing gown on. It tells you in the letter that you need to bring a dressing gown and be prepared to be there for the whole day. So off I went to get changed into the dressing gown, and then I came back and sat down in the waiting area. And you could see people coming in and out of various rooms, and some people came out with looks of relief on their face. Some people came out visibly upset. And I remember thinking, God, please let me be one of those women who come out with that look of relief on their face. And I have this group that I think there's about 8 of us, and we pray together. It's meant to be like once a month, but I think it's about once a quarter or so. And I remember telling them about the appointment and just messaging them like, guys, I'm feeling a bit nervous, and you know, they just encouraged me. So I went into the first room, and it was a male consultant, told me to lie down, and you know, he had to assess my breast, and he said, where's the lump? You know, I physically held on to it and said, you know, here it is. And he said, that's not a lump. And he made me feel so silly. I literally felt like I was wasting NHS time. I know that the NHS is stretched, and he literally made me feel like I was one of those people who were adding to the stress of the doctors. And he said, this isn't a lump. That's not a lump. And I said, but it really hurts. And he said, no, it's not a lump, but you're here anyway, so I'll send you for the scan. So I literally just felt that I was going to go into the next room and have the scan just for formalities, just because I was there. So I went into the room, laid on the bed, and the lady started scanning me. And I remember her saying to me, are you breastfeeding? I said, no. And she said, well, your milk ducts are still very active. This looks like it's something hormonal. It can take up to 18 months for a woman's body to go back to normal. So it's probably just your breast milk just, drying up and your body going through the changes, trying to get back to normality. And I felt so relieved. But again, I had to wait for the consultant to assess the images and give them the results. So I went back and sat in the waiting room. Again, you're seeing different types of people come out with different reactions. And I already was preempting the fact that I was going to come out with the look of relief anyway. So I went in, he looked at the results and said, as I said, it's nothing, go away, live your life, enjoy yourself. It's your body just adjusting. And I was so, so happy. So that was April 2018. By about June, I was still a little bit worried about this lump because I felt like it was growing. It was more painful. I could feel it in my armpit. There was just something about it that for me seemed a bit more than breast milk. So I spoke to my husband about it again, and he kept encouraging me to go back to the GP, but I still felt like I didn't want to waste anyone's time, so I kept putting it off. And then I think July, I called the GP, and this time it was a female, and she said to me, look, you know your body better than anyone. I'm not going to ask you to come in. I'm just going to refer you straight from here. And I thought, okay. So again, you get an appointment within 10 days. I went back to the hospital, back to the same breast clinic. And this time it felt different. I didn't really tell anyone about my appointment. Not because I was worried that something was going to happen, but just because I thought, do you know what? It's probably just a cyst that they missed and they're just going to go there. I'm going to go there and they're going to drain it out. So it was a female consultant who first saw me in the room. Remember, previous time it was a male. So it was a female consultant, and she said, okay, show me how you check your breasts. And I thought, what? She said, yeah, lay down and show me how you check your breasts. And I said, well, I'm just doing whatever. And she said, no, that's not how you check your breasts. And she told me to put my arm above my head, and she talked me through how to check your breasts. And it hit me that I'm 33 and I have never been shown how to check my breasts, ever. I didn't know. So she talked me through what she was doing, and she said, your breasts are busy. And I thought, okay, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. So I asked her, what does that mean? And she said, well, we don't know. Well, I'm going to put some markers on your breasts, and that will give them an indication of where to scan. So I was sent back to sit in the waiting room. And this time, I guess that wait in the waiting room, I wasn't as confident as I was back in the April. I was really, really nervous. So I got called in, and I remember it happened to be the same lady who had scanned me the first time. And then there was a young lady in the room. And I saw on her name badge that she was a student. And I remember just thinking, okay, is no one going to ask me whether she can stay in the room? If no one going to say, do I mind or anything? And I wanted to say something, but I just kept quiet. And for some of you who know me knows that I can be quite direct and to the point. And I just decided to stay quiet. And I took off my dressing gown, and the lady, as she looked through my notes, she said, oh, I remember you. Why are you back? And I said, well, the lump seems like it's getting bigger and it really, really hurts. It's becoming more painful. If I lie down on the side, if I lie down on my side, it's painful. If I carry my son, it's painful. If someone comes to hug me, it's painful. Everything about it is painful. Even just if my arm touches it, it really hurts. And she said, okay, well, let's just see if anything's changed. So she began to scan me. She said, you know what? Nothing's changed. It all seems the same to how it was when I last saw you. And I thought, okay, this is really, really strange that there's nothing there. And then that's when the student spoke up. And I can't remember what she said, but I do remember she said axilla. And I know that axilla means armpit. And she said, what about blah, blah, blah. And the lady answered her back, and she then said something, and I knew that she was questioning something that she had seen. So the lady then said to me, okay, get dressed. I'm just going to take these images to get a second opinion. So I got dressed, and it seemed like the longest wait of my life. And she came back and she said, sorry, get undressed again. I'm going to scan you a bit more. She scanned me. She went out the room again. She came back and she said, we've got to go to another room. So we went to the other room, and I was then introduced to another female consultant and told that they were going to take a biopsy. And I just didn't understand, because this is the lady who, first of all, questioned why I was back, then confirmed that nothing had changed and that it's still breast milk. And we're now having a biopsy. So I took the biopsy, and I remember calling my husband after that, look, this is what they've done. I'm really nervous. And he really kept encouraging me, don't worry, babes. And then before I left, they gave me an appointment for the results. So it's 2 weeks. And they gave me the appointment of the 16th of August. And I thought, oh, okay, that's my dad's 60th birthday. There's no way that I'm going to get bad news on that birthday. Had this huge surprise party planned for him and everything. So I was really looking forward to it. And I just never in a million years did I think that anything bad would come on that day. So I went away. Before I left, they told me to go and have a blood test, which I did. And then I went home, and 2 days later, I received a phone call to say, okay, we need you to come in to have a bone scan, to have a mammogram, and to take further biopsies on both your breasts. And that's when I just thought, okay, this isn't, for something that is supposedly hormonal and dried breast milk, this is a lot of investigations that they're doing. So I went back to the hospital with my sister for the bone scan, and that's where they inject you with radioactive dye. You then have to go away for an hour and then come back. And I'll never forget the look of concern on the guy's face after having the bone scan. He said, do you have an appointment for your results? And I said, yeah. And he said, okay. It wasn't like just a question that you would ask anyone. I genuinely feel that there was something more to it. You could see the look in his eyes. And I guess I knew that he had seen something, but I was still hopeful that it was definitely nothing. So I then had to have the mammogram and a further biopsy. And again, after the mammogram, the lady asked me if I had a date for my results. And I said yes. And I thought, okay, they've definitely seen something. But I was still trying to remain hopeful. So the 16th of August came, and my husband and I were waiting. They were running a bit late. And as we were called into the room, there was a nurse in the room plus the consultant, and the nurse had a breast cancer folder in her hand, which I never really took much notice of. I just thought that she's just got some information there. And the consultant asked me a series of questions, and I will never forget those words. I'm sorry, but you have breast cancer. I literally just felt like my whole world had just come crashing down. And I just said to myself, this isn't what God said. I don't understand. And then I had a panic attack. And a lot of what happened in that room just seems like such a blur. I just remember crying. My husband asking questions. And I asked one question: what's the survival rate? All I could think of was like my family, the dreams that I have. And I guess when I thought about cancer, I just remember my childhood friend passing away from cancer. For me, cancer equals death. That's what I thought. Cancer equals death. And I had to literally force myself to think and push past those thoughts of cancer does not equal death. So my dad's birthday got cancelled, which made me even more upset. We called my mum on the way home, and she was just in hysterics. And by the time we got home, all the family were here. And yeah, it was just a day that I never ever in a million years thought that I would experience, and I wouldn't wish it upon anyone. So what I'm going to do now is share with you the first video that I made, and that was 24 hours later, and then I will come back with some more videos and a video on how to check your breasts as well. It's really important that we know how to check our breasts and we know how to be in tune with our body. If anything, if you get anything from this video, it's check them, check them, check them, and check them again. Go for your smear tests, please. Go for your mammograms. Check your boobs after your period, not before. Check it after your cycles, okay? If you do have any questions, please feel free to drop me a message, drop something in the comments box, do share, and do subscribe as well. Don't forget you can follow me on Instagram at Kemi_Kems. My blog isn't quite up to date just as yet, just because it's been quite a long, tough, almost 2 years. So yeah, I'll keep it up to date very soon. Okay, thanks for tuning in once again, and I'll see you soon. Take care, bye. Yesterday, I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. I'm smiling because I'm trying to remain positive and just know that God, who has brought me this far, will never leave me. It's been a tough night. My eyes are puffy from just endless crying, but I'm trusting that I'm not going to die. I'm going to live to declare his glory and tell everyone about how great he is. The same way that he brought me through infertility is the same way that he's going to bring me through this. It's not going to beat me. I'm tired. I've asked, why me? What did I do? What didn't I do? But sometimes the journey that God has for us, he knows that we're more than able, and I'm holding on to the fact that he will never give us more than what we can bear. So I'm making this film. It's not going to be, I'm not going to put it out until probably the end of the year. It's the 17th of August 2018, and the reason why is because I'm still processing everything, but I still like to document it and one day give people hope. When I was going through the infertility journey, I documented as I was going along. This one is a bit much for me, so I want to do it afterwards.